Potting bulbs is not a new idea, but I'm going to show you a way that you can get lots of different bulbs into one container, and it will give you a really long display, loads of different flowers, and it will generally be a little bit more interesting than just using one variety. I'm starting with this bright blue glazed container. It's just a bit more interesting than standard terracotta and just provides a bit of variety to start with. And the first thing I'm going to do is put a layer of multi-purpose peat-free compost in the bottom of my pot. It can sometimes be a little bit lumpy, so just break it up as you go. It's nothing to worry about. Now I'm just putting a 10 to 15 centimetre layer of compost in the bottom, so not too much at all to start with. I'm just coming on to my bulbs. I've chosen all yellow bulbs. They're different varieties. I've got daffodils, crocuses and tulips, but they're all yellow because I thought that would make a great contrast to this blue pot. Also, with this kind of project, you never know exactly when they're going to flower, whether they'll all flower at the same time, whether they'll flower one after another. So as they're all the same colour, whatever they do, the display will always look brilliant. Now the idea with this technique is that you put the largest bulbs in first. So I've got the daffodils here. I'm just going to sit them on the surface of the compost with their pointy end facing upwards, as this means that they'll shoot off through the compost and get off to a really good growing start. I've packed them in quite tightly, but not so they're touching. Next part of the process is to cover these bulbs up with compost, so you're just layering them up. Just sprinkle the compost until they're all covered. Now it's time to add the medium-sized bulbs. The process is much the same, pointy end facing up, and just sit them on the surface of the compost. So what I've got now is a layer of compost, then the daffodils, I've covered those up, and then the tulips are on the top of those. The compost is quite close to the top of the pot now, but that's okay because the last layer of bulbs I'm going to put in are really tiny. These little crocuses are ever so small, so they don't need to be very far from the surface. Procedure is just the same. You've got the idea by now. Pointy end facing up and sit them on the surface of the compost. And the last bit. And we're done. We've got 3 layers of bulbs in here, and all you need to do now is put this pot in an out of the way place. You can water it if you want, although we're likely to get quite a bit of rain between now and spring, so it's not essential. And just wait for the lovely display in a few months' time.